So one of the things that I always tell people all the time, and and these are things that over the last, over 35 years in this industry, that these things have become really, really personal to me because I see so many people doing these things, and it's just not healthy for success. One of the things is realize you can only control what you can control. Things you can control are your thoughts. You can control your thoughts. You can control what you think. You can control your actions, and you can control your reactions. And what I mean by control your reactions is how you respond to situations and people. You can control that. You can control your choices. The choices you make, you can control. You can control how you spend your time. You can control how you spend your money. You can control your attitude. All these things you can control. Now, there's certain things you can't control. You can't control if the weather's bad today there, wherever you're located. You can't. You have no control over that weather today, none whatsoever. Okay, wherever you're located in the U.S., you have no control of that. But your thoughts, your actions, your reactions, how you respond to situations and to people, your choices, how you spend your time, how you spend your money, your attitude, those are things that you can control. I'll tell you this right here. I've done this a long time, and I'm very passionate about what I do. And the people that I see excel in this industry are people who have those things that they can control. They have those things right. They have the right thoughts. They have the right actions. They have the right reactions. They make the right choices. They don't make bad choices. They spend their time the right way. They spend their money the right way. They have a positive attitude. So I want to spend just a minute on the positive attitude one here, just for a second here. And again, if you have any additional things, like if there's other things that we can control, throw it out in chat. I'd love to see that out in chat. But I want to talk to you about the one I really want to emphasize of all those I talked about is a positive attitude. A positive attitude is so, so, so important. And I could put the word so in there 100 times and it still would not be enough of how important a positive attitude is. Because I'm telling you, a negative attitude doesn't get you anywhere. I can promise you it gets you nowhere. Who you surround yourself with and who you surround yourself with makes a difference. Make no mistake, who you surround yourself with makes a difference. I'm going to tell you this, in this industry here, who you surround yourself with plays a huge part in whether you're going to be successful in this industry or not. And you surround yourself with a lot of great, great, great people. I mean, tremendously great people. I see Tony G on this call, always a positive attitude. I mean, I love it. Mike and Jalen, Michael Bond, and there's so many more that are just incredible, incredible people. And they're not where they're at without a positive attitude. And you must lean into the people in your life that care about your success. If people are negative about your success or jealous about that's not the people you lean into. You lean into people who are cheering you on, who care about your success, and align yourself with people heading in the same direction as you are. You've got to align yourself with people heading in the same direction as you are. If somebody's not heading the same direction as you are, I'm telling you, you got to get away from that individual. You got to get with people who see big things, but align yourself with people with similar values. And and I'm just telling you this. I've met a lot of people in my life, and I've had a lot of partners that I've supported. But I'm telling you, it doesn't get any better than Mike and Jalen on values. It just does not get any better. I promise you, it just does not get any better. But values are important. And I won't tell you the story at all today, but we're separating from an individual that's a part of Lasting Mark today, and I'm having the conversation with this afternoon, and it's strictly because of values. It's because of decisions and choices this person made, and I just don't want my name associated with the actions that they did, and I just don't want that. And so I'm having a hard conversation this afternoon, but I flew to because I wanted to do it face to face. I did not want to do it over the phone, and that's just the type of person I am. I don't want to. I'd rather face to face. I just that's just who I am, and I won't tell you who it is. I won't tell you the situation, but we're making a disconnect today, and it's 100% because of values. When you're positive, people want to be around you. I'm going to repeat what I just said. When you're positive, people want to be around you. Now, if you're negative, nobody wants to be around you. Nobody, nobody. I don't want to be around you if you're negative. If everything you say is negative, what do I want to be around you for? I want to be around people that are positive. People who are always, they're positive. So, hey, the next thing here is passion and belief. And these are two things you have to have in order to excel great in this industry. You have to have passion for what you do. I don't. Yeah, I want to have. My father-in-law was a Baptist minister for about 50 years. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you something he said all the time, and I've never forgotten this, and I've used this time and time and time again. And what he always said he said, I don't have to go to church. I get to go to church. And so I relate that. I don't have to go to work. I get to go to work. I don't have to go to work. If you have that mentality, that passion for your business, I don't have to go to work. I get to go to work. And you have the mentality, the passion. I don't have to take care of the client. I get to take care of the client. If you have that attitude, then I'm telling you, oh my gosh, what a great day it's going to be. But when you have a passion for what you do, without passion, you will struggle. And the same thing about belief. And so without belief, you will struggle. You have to believe in what you're doing. You have to believe in the products you're selling. You have to believe it's putting people in a better situation. Without passion, you will struggle. People can tell when you don't have passion for what you're doing. Believe me, I promise you, they can tell when you don't have passion. If I have I have a passion for this industry, this insurance industry. I hope you can kind of feel that a little bit. And if you're around me much at all, you can tell I've got a passion for what I do. And I'm telling you, when you have a passion for what you do, you move people. When you have a belief for what you do, you move people. So I'm going to ask you today. I'm going to ask you right now, and you can put in chat your answer, whatever it may be. Do you have a passion and a belief for what you do? Because I'm telling you, a passion and belief is what moves people. And to want to do business with you, when people can tell that what you're passionate about what you do. Now, I'm going to talk to you about elevating your appointment game. He said, well, Brian, what in the world do you mean by elevating my appointment game? The hardest thing to do is to get in front of clients. Does everybody agree on that? That's the hardest thing to do. Okay. Our goal every day is to get in front of clients. Once we get in front of clients, that's when the magic starts. That's when it's game time. That's when we put our uniform on and we run out in the field. This is our time right now. Okay. I'm the quarterback. Give me the ball. I want to throw a touchdown. This is my time right here. When you're in front of them, make the most of that opportunity. So let me walk you through a couple things. And I really want you to emphasize and see this right here. And I want you to just think about this, and I want you to ask yourself, do I do this on every appointment? Because I'm telling you, this will make a difference in your close ratio if you do this. Pour into every client like they're your only client. Pour into every client like they're your only client. Give every client complete attention during the conversation. Now, prepare for the meetings as if this client doesn't do business with you, your business may not make it. Every client that you deal with, pour into that client, prepare for the meetings like if they don't do business with you, your business may not make it. Bring so much value in that meeting that if these clients don't refer you, your business may not make it. Bring so much value, they don't have a choice but to refer you. They want to refer you because of the people refer people that bring them value. I'm just telling you, people refer people when they see massive value. And last thing on this right here, listen to your clients. If you listen to them, they will tell you what's important to them. So many times, we want to do all the talking. And while the client's talking, all we're doing is thinking what we're going to say next. We're not even listening to the client. I'm telling you, God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. We need to listen twice as much as we talk. And I had a problem with this early on in my career because I'm like, well, I know my products, I know the process, I know the system. Let me just do this. And once I started listening to clients, my close ratio went out of the roof. I mean, went crazy high. And it's because I'm listening to them, what's important to them. I cannot emphasize that enough. If you'll listen, and when they start talking, don't interrupt them. Just start taking notes, jotting down notes. Just listen to them, and I'm telling you, it will be incredible. If they mention a granddaughter early in the call, write her name down. let's just say her name was Jaden, and at the end of the call, uh, say, hey, give Jaden a high five for me before, sometime next time you see Jaden. Just any little thing to make it personal. Any little thing. Think outside the box. Put that granddaughter's name in your CRM. The next time you talk to the client, bring that granddaughter. Hey, how's Jaden doing? I'm just telling you, little things like that make a difference. You have to have little things like that. Now, the most successful people spend their time conducting RGAs. And RGAs, obviously, we all know is revenue generating activities. The most successful people spend their time doing these. They think big. So I want you to put the words think big in all capitals and if you know my son Cody Askins, he's used that think big a million times. Okay. He's printed on t-shirts, banners, and websites and everything else. Think big, think big, think big. So I'm going to ask you to think big here. Now, some of you may not be in a situation today to do what I'm going to talk about, but start working towards what I'm about to mention to you. So once I want you to think about something, I want you to do the math on this and write this down for yourself here. Pay someone to take care of the non-revenue generating activities. For example, like customer service, CRM, appointment scheduling, birthday cards, answering the phone, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You'll get the idea. All the things that you do that don't actually generate revenue. Okay. Think about what it would cost you to pay a person to do those things. Let's call that person an assistant. And again, let's just say that cost you, and I'm going to throw a number out here just because it's simple math. Okay. It may be more in your area, it may be less in your area, but I'm going to throw a number out just for simple math. Say an assistant costs you $50,000 annually. Okay. Let's just say that that's the number. Okay. And again, it could be less than that. It could be 30 or 40, depending on where you live. Okay. And you say, well, Brian, that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. I'm not going to sit there and say it's not a lot of money. It is a lot of money. But I want you to I want you to think. I want you to start thinking big here, just for a minute, for me. Okay, just humor me just for a minute here. Let's say your average client is worth $1,000. Okay, of revenue, $1,000. How many clients do you need in a calendar year to pay for that person? Well, you need 50, right? So you need 50, which is one client per week. Okay. And I didn't do the 52 weeks. I did 50 weeks. So let's just keep it simple here. So 50 additional clients. My question to you is this. If you had somebody taking care of all of your non-revenue generating activities, all the things that need to be done, all the things that have to be done, the customer service, the CRM, the appointment scheduling, the birthday cards, answering the phone, all the service work, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, could you generate one additional client a month or a week, per week? Could you generate one additional client per week? And I want you to think big, because I'm just telling you this, and I believe this. And if I'm wrong, you can disagree with me, but this is my personal belief. No one ever becomes truly, truly great in this business alone. Okay, you have to be a part of a team. I've been a part of, when I was at Mutual of Omaha, I took the 49th ranked agency and was number one, but I didn't do it alone. I was ahead of it, but there was so many great people that worked alongside me. The reason we became the number one agency. And then went independent in 2014, started a scratch agency, and now we have what we have here today, and obviously escalated our growth with the merger of with Advanced Team Partners, Roger Short, Chris Ball, Zach McElwain, and those guys. So obviously, we grew a lot just with that with that merger. But one thing I wanted to really emphasize here is this: is that you'll never ever grow something truly, truly special alone. And so, I've, one of the greatest investments I ever made was with an assistant, and because an assistant allowed me to spend my time on the business instead of in the business. And so my assistant freed up a lot of my time for me. So I want you to think about, once you're able to do this, I would make the move and get that off your plate. If you focus 100% on RGAs, would you be able to produce one additional client per week? And I think the answer is yes. Now, you have an enormous amount of support with the team that you're currently with. I mean, this team pours in you like crazy. So I want to talk to you about personal development just for a second here. And and this is so important. This right here is one of the big difference makers in your success. Personal development is something you can control. You can control your personal development. I want to ask you a couple of questions here. Are you a student of the business, a student of your practice? Okay. Now, one of the things that I've always prided myself on is I keep up with industry. I do. You'd be surprised when we get a new product. I take the product guide home. I study products. I study presentations. I want to be a student of the business. I want to be the best I possibly can be. I'm telling you, you need to be a student of the business. I want to ask you a silly question here. What if a doctor was not a student of their practice? What if a dentist wasn't a student of their practice? Do you want that person as your doctor? Do you want that person as your dentist? If a dentist is not a student of their practice, do you want that person putting a drill in your mouth, you know, and then turn that thing on? No, you don't want that. Absolutely not. I don't think you do anyway. And if they're not a student of practice, if they're not keeping up with the most modern technology and a true student of practice and truly, so I'm asking you, are you a student of practice? Uh, do you realize that the importance of being a student of practice? Uh, Students of the business simply do more business. There's no question about that. People are true students of the business. They're always thinking outside the box. They're always learning. It is incredible the difference in the production and income for people who are true students of business compared to people who are not true students of business. And but No investment. Uh, People don't. There's so many times people don't invest in their business. You must invest in your business. The investment that you raise investments we already talked about, which is an assistant. But another one is you have to invest in leads. You have to invest in a networking group. You have to invest in something that's going to bring clients to you. And we're in a competitive market. If you want to grow, you have to invest. We're in the one of the most competitive markets of any industry. We're an extremely competitive market, but we get paid extremely well. And and I wouldn't trade it. I love being in a competitive market. It gets my juices flowing every day. I love it, love it, love it. I love when we're competing against another agency for a to bring on a producer. I love it. Because if I lose that, I'm going to learn from that. I'm going to figure out why we lost that, and I'm going to go back and improve it. Uh, but you have to invest in your business. And I'm talking about leads. I'm talking about assistants. I'm talking about one day office space. One day, all these things that you need to invest in. I want to. This is something I've said for years and years and years. I want you to write this down and remember this right here every time you spend money. Money spent wisely is an investment. Money not spent wisely is an expense. Money spent wisely is an investment. Money not spent wisely is an expense. And there's a difference between an investment and expense. You can spend money. One can be wise and one cannot be wise. But money spent wisely is an investment. Money not spent wisely is an expense. There's no repeatable process. That's the next. No repeatable process. Systems and processes are important, and you have to have a repeatable process, a repeatable system. And that's why that I love you being on True Wealth. Those guys have repeatable processes. Anytime there's been an issue or problem in the past, I want to talk about systems for a second, why systems are so important. Anytime there's ever been an issue or problem, I've always created a system. And so if you ever see an issue or problem, create a system. If an individual producer, you need a repeatable process, a process you're going to follow day in and day out. How many of y'all get up in the morning and wonder what you're going to do today? How many of you get up in the morning and your calendar's blank and you just don't know what you're going to do today? Well, obviously, you you have too many of those days, you're just not going to make it in this industry. That's why you have to make sure you have a full calendar and uh, but a process you can follow, day in and day out. If you're a mentor, you're growing a team, you're a mentor to somebody, and mentoring individuals, you need to have a repeatable process unless you want a revolving door, a repeatable process that you can train agents. I believe one of the best characteristics, and this right here is one thing I've always said, one of the best characteristics for leaders is to have transferable skills. one of the best characteristics of a leader can have transferable skills. So make sure that if you're a leader, that you have transferable skills, skills that you can train other people. Uh, Mentorship. A mentor is so important, and you have some of the best mentors in Mike and Jalen and others on the team. I mean, just incredible, incredible mentors. Mentorship. How many of you really don't? How many of you, when you got in this business, and maybe even today, you don't even know what questions to ask? Like as far as when you need help. How many people you feel? How many of you feel overwhelmed, not sure where to start? Uh, I'm telling you this. These are thoughts and feelings that a lot of people have, and when you have these thoughts and feelings, you have some great mentors. Use those mentors. Don't just sit there and not know where to start. But what I love about Mike and Jalen's process is they have a transferable process. They have a quick start process. They have, the systems that and the process that need to be followed. And but if for some reason you're still feeling that way at all, you've got to get with them. Don't waste a day. Don't let a day pass by. I've always said for many, many years, if you win Monday, you win Tuesday, you win Wednesday, you win Thursday, you win Friday, you won the week. If you win enough weeks, you win the month. Win enough months, you win the quarter. You win enough quarters, you win the year. That's how you win. But I've had the opportunity to mentor several individuals, producers, team builders in the great industry, and I love it. I mean, it's an honor to help someone else succeed in this great industry. So once you get ready to in the future to want to build something truly special, you know, start making notes now of how you can help other people in this industry once you become to where you're able to be a mentor. A mentor offers, valuable guidance. They can help you navigate challenges. They make important decisions. They provide insights that you may not have considered on your own. And but what I wanted to really emphasize today is you're with the right organization. It's an incredible organization, and uh, and I want you to just you know, going back real quick here, controlling what you control, your thoughts, your actions, your reactions, how you respond to situations and people, your choices, how you spend your time, how you spend your money, and your attitude. I'm telling you that those things make a difference in your passion and your belief, your positive attitude, your passion and belief, and just being incredible intentional on elevating your appointment game. And I want you to really think big about the revenue generating activities and possibly bringing that customer service person on in the future. That person is going to take all the other things off your plate and use the tools and resources and support that you have at your fingertips. I mean, we have an unbelievable training center. Mike and Jalen have an unbelievable, training platforms that they have. Uh, and don't forget the personal development that you have an opportunity to have. That you have an opportunity to do personal developing yourself. Read books. I read a book at least once a month. I mean, and a lot of them are on audio because I'm always on the go, so I'm always traveling, and I'll do it on audio. And but I don't care how you do it. I'm telling you, they make a difference. So invest in yourself, and make sure you invest in your business, and make sure you have a repeatable process, and use the mentors that you have. They're absolutely incredible. So